Have you ever wondered if everything you were taught about cleanliness might be wrong? After 70, for decades we've believed that daily bathing is the gold standard of hygiene. But what if I told you that this very routine, something we've done our entire lives, is silently working against us as we age? This isn't about being lazy. It's about survival. It's about senior health, about protecting fragile skin, about preserving energy, and most importantly, about honoring the often overlooked elderly wisdom that reminds us, sometimes less is more. In a world that praises fresh scents and squeaky clean skin, few talk about the hidden dangers behind the steamy showers and scented soaps. But today we're pulling back the curtain, because life after 70 isn't just about staying clean, it's about staying safe. It's about healthy aging, not just hygiene for appearance's sake. In this video, we'll dive deep into 7 shocking truths about bathing in your golden years. You'll discover why dermatologists and geriatricians are changing the rules, and how simple bathing tips for seniors can completely transform your daily routine. We're not just talking about staying fresh. We're talking about avoiding infections, about preventing falls, about keeping your independence, and yes, about a better, smarter approach to senior hygiene. So if you're over 70 or care for someone who is, don't go anywhere. What you're about to hear may challenge everything you thought you knew, and it might just save your skin literally. Let's begin. Fact 1. Daily baths can harm senior skin. At 72, Margaret still believed in the habits that had guided her all her life. Each morning, she would ease herself out of bed, shuffle to the bathroom, and step into the shower, just as she had done for the past 5 decades. A hot shower, she used to say, washed away not just the dirt but the heaviness of life. But lately, that routine no longer felt the same. Her skin, once soft and resilient, now itched beneath her clothes. Dry patches flaked across her arms. No lotion seemed to help, and the more she bathed, the worse it seemed to get. Margaret is not alone. What so many of us were taught to believe, that daily baths equal good hygiene, simply doesn't hold true when we enter life after 70. In fact, for many older adults, it may be doing more harm than good. This isn't about letting go of cleanliness. It's about understanding our bodies differently, with the quiet strength that comes from elderly wisdom. As we age, our skin changes dramatically. It becomes thinner, more delicate, and far less capable of retaining moisture. The natural oils that once shielded us from irritation and infection begin to fade. The glands that produce those protective oils slow down. Even sweat production decreases. What's left behind is a fragile surface, one that needs care, but not the kind we grew up believing in. Senior health is about adapting, not resisting. Hot water, harsh soaps, and the scrubbing we associate with being clean actually strip the skin of the few natural defenses it still has. Instead of nourishment, we're left with tightness, itching, and cracks that sting with every movement. In severe cases, it can lead to xerosis, a condition where the skin becomes scaly, inflamed, and vulnerable to infection. Many seniors, like Margaret, never realize that their daily bathing routine might be the culprit. The link between frequent washing and skin breakdown is clear in recent dermatological studies, but few people talk about it. Few doctors pause to offer gentle bathing tips for seniors, because for generations, the message has been the same. Bathe daily, stay clean, stay healthy. Yet healthy aging asks us to look deeper. It asks us to protect rather than over-polish, to listen rather than force routines that no longer serve us. What we need isn't more scrubbing. It's a gentler approach, one that respects how our bodies change and honors the wisdom gained through decades of experience. For those in their 70s and beyond, senior hygiene might look more like bathing every other day, or just a couple of times a week, paired with soft cloth wipe-downs for key areas. It might mean switching to lukewarm water, mild cleansers with balanced pH, and moisturizing while the skin is still damp. Small changes, perhaps, but ones that carry profound impact. Because at this stage of life, comfort is not a luxury. It's a part of well-being. And so is dignity. Dry, irritated skin doesn't just hurt, it steals sleep, confidence, and peace of mind. Every patch of flaking skin becomes a reminder of a body struggling against its own care routine. But the truth is, we don't have to struggle. There's power in doing less, in listening to what the body needs rather than what tradition dictates. And in embracing this shift, we embody elderly wisdom in its most beautiful form. We evolve with grace. For Margaret, the change was simple. She began to bathe less frequently, using a chair in the shower and gentle soap only where needed. She moisturized with care. She gave her skin time to breathe, and in return, her discomfort faded. What replaced it wasn't just relief, but something deeper, a sense of trust in her own aging body, and maybe that's the lesson for us all. As we move into these later chapters, let us shed more than just old skin. Let us shed old beliefs about what it means to be clean, what it means to age, what it means to care for ourselves. Let us remember that senior hygiene isn't about rigidity, it's about respect. And above all, let us lean into the quiet, enduring strength of elderly wisdom. Fact 2. Bathing less can reduce the risk of infection. There's something gentle, almost sacred, about a clean body. It speaks of care, of dignity, of the simple act of tending to oneself. But what if we told you that for older adults, staying clean doesn't always mean using more water or more soap? In fact, bathing less may be one of the most powerful choices a senior can make for their health. It sounds backward, even dangerous, to those of us raised on the idea that frequent washing keeps illness away. But science tells another story, one guided by elderly wisdom, rooted in lived experience and evolving knowledge about the aging body. As we age, our skin loses more than moisture, it loses resilience. The tissue becomes thin, almost paper-like, and wounds that once healed overnight now linger for days, sometimes weeks. Even the smallest skin tear, a scrape from clothing, a rub from a towel, can become an open door for infection. Bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus or Streptococcus don't need much of an invitation. When seniors bathe too often, especially with hot water and harsh products, the protective oils and natural lipids that hold skin cells together are stripped away. Without that invisible shield, the skin becomes brittle, dry, cracked, and prone to tearing. And here's where senior hygiene becomes more about strategy than repetition. A study from the New England Journal of Medicine found that older adults who reduced their bathing frequency actually experienced fewer skin injuries, and by extension, fewer infections. The body was given a chance to restore its defenses, to rebuild the natural barrier it so desperately needs. This isn't about neglect. It's about respect, respecting the limits of an aging body, respecting the lessons that come not from textbooks, but from the quiet voice of time itself. In practice, this means something simple. Instead of a full shower every day, many seniors benefit more from bathing 2 to 3 times per week. On the days in between, gentle spot cleaning, armpits, groin, feet, with a soft cloth and lukewarm water is often enough. These bathing tips for seniors aren't about cutting corners. They're about preventing complications, and the benefits go beyond the skin. Fewer open wounds mean fewer doctor visits, less risk of cellulitis, less chance of a minor cut turning into something far more serious. For seniors with limited mobility, chronic conditions, or a delicate immune system, that's not a small thing. It's the key to senior health and independence. There's also peace of mind in knowing that one's hygiene routine isn't unknowingly increasing risk, because infection doesn't always come with a warning sign. It creeps in quietly, often through the cracks we don't see. What begins as dryness or a small itch can quickly escalate, and by the time help is needed, it's already too late. That's why healthy aging means being proactive, not reactive. It means adjusting routines to align with the realities of the body, not forcing the body to meet outdated standards. For many seniors, this adjustment feels like a relief, like permission. Permission to slow down, to simplify, to focus less on daily routines that exhaust and irritate, and more on living the life still within reach. Like Margaret, who now chooses her bath days with intention and uses her in-between days for walks, music, and connection, knowing that her skin, her energy, and her health are all better for it, because elderly wisdom reminds us of something culture often forgets. Cleanliness isn't a number on a calendar. It's comfort. It's confidence. It's knowing what works for your body at your pace. And sometimes the cleanest choice you can make is simply to pause. Fact 3. The danger of falls is far greater than a bit of dirt. There's something no one warns you about when you turn 70. It's not the grey hairs or the wrinkles. It's not even the slower steps or aching joints. It's the bathroom. What used to be a place of refreshment and ritual becomes, almost overnight, a place of risk. And in many homes, it becomes the most dangerous room of all. Each year, senior health professionals report thousands, no millions, of falls involving older adults. Some leave only a bruise, others a broken hip, a concussion, a slow, painful loss of independence that can never be fully regained, and often it happens during something as simple as a bath. You see, we spend so much time focusing on staying clean that we rarely ask whether the process itself is safe. For those navigating life after 70, stepping into a wet shower or over the lip of a tub isn't just uncomfortable, it's a calculated risk, one that's far more dangerous than a little sweat or yesterday's dust. We forget that balance fades with age. That reflex is slow, that neuropathy, arthritis, or simply tired legs can turn a routine rinse into a slippery test of survival. The very place we go to restore ourselves becomes a place we're most vulnerable. And here is where, elderly, wisdom quietly speaks up, offering not fear but clarity. It says, what's the point of spotless skin if it comes with a fractured bone? Senior hygiene doesn't need to mean a daily shower. What it needs is safety and adaptability. If bathing means crossing a floor slick with soap or reaching for a towel with a weak grip, maybe it's time we step back and reassess. Because when we talk about healthy aging, we must start with preservation, of body, of independence, of dignity. That may mean switching to sponge baths between full washes. It may mean using a shower chair, a handheld nozzle, or installing grab bars. But above all, it means recognizing that less frequent bathing isn't a sign of neglect. It's an act of self-respect, an act of care. The truth is, a fall can change everything. In an instant, a senior who was living independently may face hospitalization, surgery, or months of rehabilitation. And many never return fully to where they were, all because of a slippery tile, a wet floor, a belief that being clean was worth the risk. But here's what bathing tips for seniors actually look like in practice. Fewer bathroom visits, more intentional. Routines and hygiene tailored to the realities of aging bodies, not outdated expectations. Sometimes that means saying no to the morning shower, and yes to a warm cloth, to fresh clothes, to rest. Because senior health is not just about what we do, but why we do it. We bathe to feel renewed, not to put ourselves in harm's way. And so the shift begins, not in grand gestures, but in small changes, like replacing daily showers with twice-weekly washes, like accepting that a clean soul sometimes shines brighter than clean skin, like listening to the quiet voice of elderly wisdom that says, your safety matters more than someone else's standard. For many seniors, this choice is liberating. For caregivers, it's a chance to protect without imposing. And for everyone who's growing older, it's a reminder that aging isn't a decline, it's a different rhythm, one worth honoring. So let's choose fewer slips and more steady steps. Fewer routines that exhaust and more that preserve. Let's choose healthy aging, not risky rituals, because sometimes the cleanest choice is the one that keeps you standing. Fact 4. The body knows how to stay clean if we let it, and so we pause. We pause not out of laziness, but out of wisdom, the kind of wisdom that only time can teach, elderly wisdom. In the quiet after the shower has gone cold and the towel is hung to dry, another truth begins to surface, one that most of us have never been told. Your body knows how to stay clean. Yes, even after 70. For decades, we've been led to believe that the only way to be clean is to scrub, rinse, and repeat. That sweat and scent must be banished daily with hot water and lathering soap. But the truth is simpler, softer, and infinitely more elegant. Our skin is not just a barrier. It's a living, breathing ecosystem, a home to trillions of friendly microbes, natural oils and cellular rhythms working in harmony to protect, cleanse, and renew. It is quite literally our first defense in the world of senior health, but when we overbathe, especially as we age, we interrupt this harmony. We strip away the very oils that keep skin supple. We wash off the beneficial bacteria that fight infections. We disturb the pH balance, making our skin more prone to dryness, irritation, and even allergic reactions. And here's where healthy aging meets humility. Because what if the answer isn't doing more but doing less? What if senior hygiene in life after 70 means trusting nature just a little more? You don't need to wash your entire body every single day to be healthy or respectable. What you do need is intentional care. A warm cloth to wipe the face, the underarms, the groin. A fresh shirt, clean hands, good oral hygiene. These small acts, done regularly, protect both dignity and health, without putting your skin, energy, or balance at risk. This shift isn't just practical, it's liberating. Because once we understand how the body cleanses itself, through its natural oils, its skin-shedding cycle, and its friendly microbes, we realize that many of our old habits were rooted more in advertising than in actual need. The clean feeling we chase often comes at the cost of our skin's own defenses. For seniors with sensitive skin, reduced immunity, or limited mobility, this shift matters even more. It's not about giving up routines but redefining them. It's about recognizing that a long shower doesn't always equal a healthier you, and that too is elderly wisdom in action, the wisdom to listen to your body, your comfort, your limits. The wisdom to know that rest is not failure, but a form of respect. The wisdom to reclaim your time, your rituals, and your well-being from expectations that no longer serve you. We don't need to scrub away our worth. We don't need to rinse away our grace. What we need is presence, a gentler rhythm, a slower pace that allows us to age not with resistance, but with reverence. So maybe the most radical act of hygiene at 75 isn't the soap we use, but the space we give our body to breathe, the kindness we show it by trusting that it knows what to do, and the love we extend, not just in how we look, but in how we care. Because in the end, bathing tips for seniors aren't just about what keeps the skin clean. They're about what keeps the soul at peace, and peace, dear friend, is the cleanest feeling of all. Fact 5. Experts recommend bathing. Just once or twice a week, and that's more than enough. Once upon a time, taking a bath was a symbol of discipline, a daily ritual, a habit that whispered, I take care of myself. But as the body changes, so too must our understanding of care. Today, many of the world's leading experts in senior health, from geriatricians to dermatologists, are offering a new truth. A gentle, evidence-based truth that might surprise those of us who still cling to the old ways. For people over 70, bathing once or twice a week isn't just acceptable, it's ideal. That's right. The very professionals who've spent their lives studying aging bodies now agree. Daily showers may do more harm than good. And far from lowering hygiene standards, this recommendation reflects a deeper understanding of what aging bodies truly need. It's a shift in mindset. A soft but powerful rebellion against outdated norms. This isn't about giving up. It's about growing wise. Because elderly wisdom knows there's a difference between staying clean and staying well. You see, life after 70 looks different for everyone. One person may still hike every morning, another may spend most days resting indoors. Some may struggle with incontinence or chronic wounds, others with stiff joints or fatigue. There is no one-size-fits-all routine, and there never was. That's why the most compassionate and correct approach is one tailored to the person, personalized, thoughtful, human. When you're older, healthy aging isn't about meeting some invisible standards set by ads or habits from a time when your skin was thicker and your bones more sure. It's about respecting what your body can do and not forcing what it no longer should. Bathing once or twice a week, paired with daily spot cleaning of key areas like the underarms, groin, feet, and hands, is usually more than enough to maintain cleanliness and dignity, and more importantly, it reduces the risk of skin damage, fatigue, and bathroom-related falls. That too is hygiene. That too is self-care. That too is love. Senior hygiene must evolve just as we do. It must serve the body, not punish it. It must uplift, not exhaust. And when we allow that shift to happen, when we embrace it without shame, we rediscover a sense of calm, a confidence that isn't tied to a daily rinse, but to the choices that help us feel safe and strong in our own skin. Experts aren't asking us to lower our standards. They're helping us raise our awareness. They're helping us understand that bathing tips for seniors are not about staying stuck in old rituals, but about writing new ones that protect us, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And in that shift, there is power, there is freedom, there is peace. As Dr. Evelyn Moore, a geriatric dermatologist from Johns Hopkins, once said, "The cleanest skin is not the most scrubbed, it's the skin that's been respected." And respect, dear friend, is the heart of elderly wisdom. So if you've been holding on to that daily bath like a badge of honor, maybe it's time to put it down, gently, lovingly, and pick up something softer, something wiser, a towel on Monday, cloth on Wednesday, a nap on Friday, without the ache of too much effort or the fear of falling. This is not surrender, it's sovereignty. It's claiming your right to define what care looks like in this season of life. Because true cleanliness doesn't come from the water alone. It comes from choosing what nourishes you, what protects you, and what honors who you are, now. Fact 6. Daily bathing drains energy. And joy, no one really talks about how tiring a shower can be. Not when you're young. Not when your knees don't ache, your breath comes easy, and your arms lift without protest. But life after 70 is different. What once felt like a refreshing ritual now feels like a challenge. The kind that starts before the water even runs, stepping carefully, balancing, bending, reaching, drying off, dressing again. And in between all of that, fighting the weight of fatigue that never quite lifts. This is a reality for so many older adults, one that's rarely seen, rarely spoken of, and too often misunderstood. But now even the medical field is catching up. The Journal of the American Medical Association has shown what many seniors already know in their bones. Daily bathing is exhausting. For someone with arthritis, every twist of the wrist to wring a washcloth can spark pain. For someone with heart issues, standing under warm water can cause dizziness or dangerous drops in blood pressure. For someone with COPD or reduced lung capacity, the steam itself can make breathing feel like a chore. The body slows, not because it's weak, but because it has carried us so far for so long. And here once again elderly wisdom speaks. Conserve your strength for what matters. Bathing is not the enemy, but forcing it daily, especially when it robs you of the energy you need for joy, movement, connection, is a cost we can no longer ignore. Healthy aging means choosing what we give our energy to. Is it the shower or the morning walk? The shampoo, bottle, or the phone call with your grandchild? The 15 minutes of standing in water, or the hour of tending your garden without trembling hands? This is not about skipping hygiene. It's about rethinking hygiene. About understanding that sometimes less is not laziness, it's strategy, it's survival, it's self-respect. Senior hygiene, when rooted in intention, gives back more than it takes. That might mean bathing twice a week, but doing so with care, sitting down using a handheld shower, turning the water just warm enough, not scalding. It might mean asking for help or swapping the full shower for a sponge bath on harder days. And on days when energy feels scarce, a fresh shirt, brushed hair, clean hands, and a deep breath are more than enough, because no one should feel ashamed for choosing comfort. No one should feel punished for preserving their energy. This is the lesson that seniors often learn in silence, but should never have to carry alone. The truth is, bathing tips for seniors are not just about soap and timing. They're about balance, about what it means to honor your body's limits and your spirit's needs. When daily bathing leaves you too tired to cook, to smile, to live, it is no longer serving you. And senior health is not about checking boxes. It's about feeling alive. So many seniors have told the same story. I took a shower and then I had to lie down for the rest of the day. That's not vitality, that's depletion, and it doesn't have to be that way. Because elderly wisdom offers a different path, one that says, your energy is precious. Spend it wisely, spend it laughing, spend it walking, spend it living. Let the water wait. Fact 7. Hygiene isn't just about bathing. It's about dignity, wisdom, and choosing what matters. So here we are. After all the years of believing that hygiene starts and ends with a daily bath, we arrive at a softer truth. Cleanliness is not a schedule. It's not a clock. It's not something that lives only in steam and soap and hot running water. It's something gentler, more human, more real. Senior hygiene, true hygiene, is about how you feel in your skin. It's about dignity, about preserving energy, about staying safe, about knowing when to wash, how to wash, and when it's okay to simply rest and be. Because elderly wisdom tells us what the world often forgets, that a body can be clean even if it hasn't been soaked, that a person can be radiant even if they haven't stepped into a tub. That comfort is not the opposite of care, it is care. There are so many ways to feel fresh, to feel good, to feel ready for the day, without risking a fall, without exhausting your limbs, without pushing through stiffness, shortness of breath, or sheer fatigue. A soft cloth, a basin of warm water, a fresh pair of clothes, a comb through your hair, a dab of lotion, a spritz of something light and fragrant, a clean smile. These aren't second-rate solutions, they're smart, kind, adaptable, and for many older adults they are far more effective than a slippery shower that drains strength instead of restoring it. Bathing tips for seniors in this. New light aren't rules, they're invitations. Invitations to reimagine hygiene as something fluid, intuitive, and deeply personal. And yes, deeply honorable. This isn't about letting go of hygiene, it's about reclaiming it. On your terms, you. Don't have to perform for anyone. You don't owe anyone a daily ritual that leaves you aching or anxious. You owe yourself peace, comfort, safety, the freedom to choose what feels right on any given day. Because senior health is not measured in how often you wash your body, but in how deeply you listen to it, how kindly you care for it, and how willing you are to adapt, to change with grace, not with guilt. Healthy aging doesn't mean chasing the habits of youth, it means crafting new ones, more sustainable ones, ones that protect your well-being, your balance, and your precious reserves of strength. So let this be your permission to breathe, to slow down, to redefine what clean means without shame. To say, today I choose to care for myself differently, gently, intentionally. And in that choice you'll find something far greater than hygiene. You'll find wisdom, you'll find calm, you'll find freedom. That's what elderly wisdom truly is. Not clinging to the old rules, but having the courage to write new ones. So whether you bathed this morning, or wiped down with care last night, whether your hair is styled or tucked, beneath a scarf, know this: you are cared for, you are whole, you are enough. Applying elderly wisdom to everyday life after 70. Growing older brings many changes, some we expect, and some that take us by surprise. But if there's one lesson worth holding close, it's that elderly wisdom isn't just about knowing more. It's about living smarter, softer, and more in tune with what the body truly needs. In the case of hygiene, that means letting go of the idea that daily showers are the gold standard. For many, especially after 70, less is more. When it comes to senior health, overbathing can dry out the skin, increase fatigue, and even raise the risk of dangerous falls. That's why one of the most important bathing tips for seniors is to bathe only once or twice a week, using gentle, lukewarm water and mild soap, just enough to stay clean without causing harm. But staying clean doesn't always require a full bath. You can support senior hygiene through thoughtful alternatives: spot cleaning with a warm cloth, using wet wipes for high sweat areas, keeping your nails trimmed, brushing your teeth daily, and putting on clean, breathable clothes. These simple acts preserve dignity and health without taxing your energy or putting your safety at risk. Most importantly, listen to your body. Healthy aging means respecting your limits, not ignoring them. If a full bath leaves you too tired to enjoy the rest of your day, it's okay to take a different path. Self-care looks different in life after 70, and that's perfectly okay. So take comfort in this truth. Honoring your body as it changes is not a step back. It's a step into deeper self-respect. Let elderly wisdom guide you. Because aging well isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most with gentleness, grace, and confidence.